let's talk about the leaders in La Liga.
Yeah.
And, of course, it's neither Real Madrid nor Barcelona. It's Atleti. They've got 2 games in hand. They have a 2-point lead. Not come from behind, but a last-ditch winner from Luis Suarez at the weekend against 10 men. And you can look at this both ways, right? We always have this stereotype with Atletico about, well, they're gritty, they're defensive, blah, blah, blah. But actually, in that game, they were 1-0 up, opposition of a man sent off, you figure they're in control. They give up that counter, which is an un-Atleti thing to do.
Yeah.
The goal is deflected in, and then you have kind of that storming finish with João Felix setting up Luis Suarez, who makes himself invisible at the far post, as the great strikers tend to do.
Of course.
But what's your take overall on them? Because I do think that they have this other dimension to their game. And I think in this game, he moved away from the back 5. He played Coquet. Effectively, it's a deep-lying playmaker. He knew they were going to have a lot of the ball. Yeah, they only scored once. I think they could have scored more. And,
Yeah, they had more
and they look
chances.
comfortable. They look very comfortable with the ball.
Yeah, and we said that's the evolution that we've seen this season, where they play certainly higher up on the pitch. And like Simeone has explained, when you have Luis Suarez in your team, you can't play like the old Athletic because he can't run anymore. Certainly not as much as you would need him if you were playing like before. And we've seen that. There's a few things there. Usually they're so good defensively that once they take the lead, you usually don't come back in that game. Opposition team don't come back. They're still by far the best defense in La Liga, and rightly so, deservedly so, and everything. However, in that game, somehow, as you said, Alaves came back. They hit the post before scoring as well, and then you thought, oh, okay, they do a Real Madrid in a way, but yeah, they still find another gear to still go and get that win at the last minute with Luis Suarez. By the way, I have to put my hands up because I never thought that he would have that kind of impact on that team, really, that he have those numbers. And they might not last.
Joint top scorer in La Liga.
Yeah, and they might not last. And he had COVID in November, which I think he really struggled to come back from it. As we said, he's not fit. He probably has 1 knee left. And yet, to have that impact, which I have to say I didn't see it coming when they signed him in the summer, and I was a bit critical of that signing, questioning it a little bit, how much efficiency he would bring to that team. But, I got it wrong.
And the thing that strikes me about Atleti, obviously we made such a big deal when Diego Costa left, and people in Spain are saying, well, now you just have Suarez, he's older, he gets injuries, do they need to bring another striker? But they have no money. I mean, they have other people. They have that guy Sabonic, who I don't know if he's like the security guard at the training. I never see him. But
is Kalinic still in the contract?
Probably. Possibly, yeah. Maybe he'll come back.
Yeah, maybe. You just don't know.
But I kind of wonder, does that matter? I mean, do you need... Because it seems to me that the way Suarez plays is so specific. And yes, it's great to have a range of different people. And Diego Costa's quality, he's a center forward, Suarez is a center forward, but they're very different, right, in the way they play. So it's not even... It's almost like Diego Costa leaves... Like, Diego Costa wouldn't have been Suarez's replacement. When Suarez goes out, you still have to play differently. Am I wrong in suggesting that maybe you can play with the little guys? Or not the little, but, like... The lighter guys, Correa, Llorente, João Felix.
They're not the most efficient, though, are they? Correa and even Llorente, who's done incredibly well in that sort of second striker position. Lemar, João Felix, they can't score you 20 goals a season. So if Suarez, and we saw it against Lokomotiv Moscow in the Champions League, the 2 games where they had loads of chances, they just could not finish it. They were just not clinical enough. And I wonder if there's a point where if something happens to Suarez or his level drops a bit or there's something, and then you're like, who's going to score me the goals now? Because Llorente can come in and score a few, but...
my views on finishing. No?
Yeah, and like, one is enough.
But more generally, I think we overrate the notion of finishing. Statistically, there are very, very few strikers who regularly outperform expected goals. Yeah, conversion rate is kind of nonsense. Because it is what it is. You get in a good position, you create a good chance. Whether it falls to Suarez or whether it falls to João Felix, generally, speaking on the main, makes very little difference. I don't know. I just looked at it, and I kind of like the idea of gritting it out. You still have the set pieces, which they're very good at. I'm gritting it out that way.
Yeah, maybe, why not? I like the fact, I just like what they're having now, and I think it would be a shame if because something happened to if something happens to Suarez and you don't have a backup striker, proper striker, I mean, like a proper number 9, and then you miss out on maybe La Liga or maybe going far in the Champions League or something, just because that planning just hadn't worked out.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.